Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your WWE Payback 2015 review. And let me just get straight to the point. This pay-per-view was pretty okay. There were some moments in this show that was outstanding, and then it kind of dragged out, became shitty, and then got a little bit better at the end. So let me go ahead and go forth and tell you guys what occurred in these matches, go in a little bit of detail about each match and what I thought about each one of those matches. So the first match, the Ascension defeated the Mega Powers. I didn't even watch that. I never watched the pre-shows, so from now on in my reviews, I'm going to forget about the pre-show matches, because to me they're meaningless and dumb as fuck. Outside of last month's pay-per-view with pre-show having Neville and Barrett, which I will actually get into in their rematch that occurred last night. So the first match that occurred on the actual main card of the pay-per-view was Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, and ladies and gentlemen, this match was very entertaining, a lot better than their very first match that they had at Extreme Rules from last month. Good spots, high-flying maneuvers. Fans were very intrigued with this match. Very shocking ending, though. Dolph Ziggler smacked his skull into Sheamus's head, and he happened to start bleeding all over the place on his face, which was very shocking. I don't know if he did a blade job on that or whatnot. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that was real or he did it himself by, using a blade. But he was bleeding all over the place. Good ending. Nice. It made all logical sense. And there was no screw job involved in the match. It was just two men going at it, fighting it to the end. And that's the way they need to conduct these matches most of the time. So, bottom line, this match, I'd have to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This match was pretty decent and was a lot of fun to watch. The next match after that was the 2 out of 3 Falls Tag Team title match with the New Day as the Tag Team Champions going against Tyson and Cesaro. I don't know if I happen to say this. Sheamus did defeat Dolph Ziggler, so if I happen to already say that, I do apologize for my bad memory. But yeah, anyway, New Day actually retained the belts as I predicted in my preview video. But the match wasn't bad. It was a very good match. It outdid Extreme Rules match from last month. I didn't think that their last month's match was all as great as everyone else thought it was. I wasn't all that intrigued, but this one was. Cesaro did a lot of European uppercuts. Tyson Kidd got some good spots in there. He was doing some high-flying maneuvers. But the ending was pretty fucked up, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Xavier Woods rolled into the ring and did a roll-up pin on, I believe it was, Cesaro, to get the win. Now, and I know that he was just the manager of the match. He wasn't actually participating. But the referee did not even see him. Did not even notice it was Xavier Woods that was involved in the match instead of Kofi Kingston or Big E. I was going to say Big E Langston, but he doesn't go by that name anymore. So I'm just kind of scratching my head when I saw this. I'm like, good match, but weird ending. Like, I went ahead and I was texting my friend Matthew. I went ahead and I said to him, they really need to go ahead and maybe start installing instant replays, like review the match or do instant replay reviews or some shit like they do in professional football, because that was the most fucked up thing I ever saw. I mean, I don't know if it's worse than what they did with Stardust and Goldust with that botched pin with the referee, but that was pretty messed up. I mean, how could you not see that that was Xavier Woods instead of Kofi Kingston or Biggie Langston? It's just completely WWE being idiots. But overall, for the match itself, great match. 3 out of 5 stars there as well. It would have been a 4 if the ending would have had a better ending than that. I mean, that was just made no logical sense. Very stupid. But hey, what are you gonna do? Then the match that I thought was very, very cool, and I really enjoyed it. I said this in my preview, the Bray Wyatt versus Ryback match. I said in my review, regardless if Ryback was to win this match, if he could get a good reaction with Bray Wyatt with the audience, I think he's going to start getting a push to a main event status level at some point. And that is exactly what happened in this match. Ryback and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt surprised me in this. He did a better performance with Ryback than he did with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, which is pretty fucking strange if you ask me. But that's not here or there at this point, because this is May. That was in March or early April, whichever way you want to look at it, since it was on March 29th. But this match, Bray Wyatt and Ryback had a back and forth type thing going on. Bray Wyatt hit a crazy move off the apron while Ryback was laying down on the ground on the outside of the ring. And he did that move where he does a senton drop on his opponent, where he runs and then he plops all of his weight on top of his opponent's body. Well, he did that from the apron to the outside of the ring, and let me tell you, he actually hurt him pretty bad. I think it was, at first I thought it was an act, but I realized that on the wrestling news and whatnot on the internet is saying that he actually did sustain an injury from that incident. So that was pretty surprising. The action itself was pretty back and forth, as I just said. The entertainment level was there. It had what needed to be there between these two guys with, just the way they perform in the ring was very well done. So they did get good reaction. The fans were cheering for Ryback and Bray Wyatt, both of them simultaneously. I did like how the audience kind of flipped it with like how they always go, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." Well, they were going, "Let's go Wyatt, Wyatt sucks." I thought that was pretty cool and entertaining, and they were having the older audience cheering for Wyatt while they did that, and the younger audience was cheering Wyatt sucks. So I thought that was pretty cute and funny. And Ryback, if this guy does not get a push, they're idiots. Because Ryback did an outstanding job in this match. I give this match a 3.5 out of 5. I think it could have been done a little bit better. But with what he was working with, with Bray Wyatt being the way he is, I mean, Bray Wyatt wasn't horrible in this match whatsoever. I'm not taking anything away from him in this match. He did a really well done job. I just think that it wasn't to the level of a 4-star match, in my opinion. Maybe in other people's opinion, they'd say that is a 4-star match. But for me, it was pretty good, pretty decent, a little bit better than what Bray Wyatt did against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 31. So, I gotta give Bray Wyatt props on that match. Bray Wyatt, of course, walked away with the victory. Ryback was trying to go ahead and hit his finisher, and Bray Wyatt grabbed the rope to counter that, and he was in the corner. Ryback tried to pull him away from the corner, and of course, he ripped the turnbuckle off, and then threw Ryback into the turnbuckle, and of course, with his injury, he kind of winced and went towards Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt hit his Sister Abigail finishing maneuver on Ryback with a 1-2-3. So that wasn't a bad ending. I didn't have any problems with that. But This next match I had severe problems with. And it wasn't a bad match at all. John Cena defeated Rusev for the United States title. Personally, I feel that this match was a 3 out of 5 star match. It would have been a 4, but I dropped it a whole entire point, specifically because of the fact that John Cena, and this really isn't John Cena's fault, it's WWE making Lana say that Rusev quit? Really? Rusev quits. He did not say that. That is completely idiotic, and here's the reason why. Rusev had him in the Accolade, the full Nelson hold, and John Cena was out. He wasn't responding, he wasn't saying anything, and the referee and the announcers were saying, hey, he's got to say I quit, he's got to say I quit. Okay, so John Cena was out, he didn't say I quit. Well, John Cena had Rusev in a STF hold, and he didn't say I quit. He actually had the top rope. It was undone by Rusev to hit him with the metal portion of that end of the rope in the corner, and he was trying to hit him with it, and of course he missed, or no, John Cena ducked and went ahead and put him in the STF. As he had him in the STF, he used the top rope to put him with, instead of using his arms, he used the top rope to put his neck back. And while he did this, he had it on the bridge of his nose. Rusev refused to quit. He did not want to quit. But he wasn't going anywhere, I have to say that much. He was pretty much stuck. But Lana coming out of nowhere saying he quits, he quits, he quits, and they count that as that he said he quit, doesn't make any sense. Completely dumb as shit. That was completely wrong, and they've done this before with Mick Foley and Ric Flair back in 2006 Survivor Series. Ric Flair was kicking his ass, and then Melina came out of nowhere and said he quit. What? Come on, I hate that crap. It's like going ahead and having a last man standing match and tying a guy's legs up to a steel post with duct tape. It's just fucking dumb. But, whatever. Match itself, though, they did some pretty good shit. A lot better than what they did in that Russian chain match. John Cena was putting him through tables. Rusev was doing the same thing. Rusev got FU'd, or what they say now, the attitude adjustment. The AA on the fireworks that they had on the stage, and John Cena, like, completely looked like he was breaking character, I think, just out of the thought that he may have hurt Rusev really bad, where it was completely unplanned for them to even do that. So, I don't know if that was just part of the script or that was just a good acting job on John Cena's part. I think more likely it was just acting and it was part of the script. I would think so. Or they would have just stopped the match completely if it was something horrendous. So that was a pretty good spot what they did. And, Rusev went ahead, hit John Cena with a suplex with the barricade, the metal barricade on the, lined up on the ring, excuse me, I'm trying to think here, the apron and the floor, and he suplexed them and broke the barricade in half, which was unbelievable. And John Cena was showing a lot of guts and determination, and so was Rusev, and it ended with a bullshit ending. I think it was the worst thing that was done to Rusev. I think Rusev was screwed in this match. Even though I didn't believe Rusev was ever going to win, I didn't think they would go to that level. I didn't think they would have Rusev have Lana quit for him. I was kind of figuring Rusev was going to actually quit. But, again, it makes a little sense. They're trying to, I guess in a sense, write Lana off of Rusev's character and build up for him from here on out. And to make Rusev not look, by making Rusev not say the words, I quit, they had Lana say it for him. So it didn't make him less of a competitor as John Cena was in that match. I can understand that. I really don't have an issue with that. But it kind of was looking for either one of the competitors or participants in this match to say I quit. Not Lana saying I quit for one of them, or of course Rusev in that matter since she was in his corner. So, bottom line in this scenario, I didn't like the ending result, but the action itself was outstanding. So, I would give this a 3 out of 5 stars. The next match, oh god, this was shit in the handbasket. Naomi and Tamina versus the Bella Twins. Naomi and Tamina defeat the Bella Twins in this tag team match. I hardly paid attention to this. I give it maybe 1 star. They had a few good spots in this match, but overall itself was shit. I didn't think too much of it. The next match, Neville and King Barrett. I wish they'd call it bad news. They call him Bad News Barrett, but oh well. This match sucked absolute dick. I give this match a 1 out of 5 stars in this one as well. This was garbage. They were having a decent match, and I don't put the blame on either one of these competitors. I put the blame on WWE storyline writers, what they were doing here in this match. How can they have Barrett walk out of this match with him, already losing a match to Neville, and on top of it, losing the match with showing no guts or determination to want to do anything? It doesn't help Barrett at all in his situation to push him further into the, level of main event status. I would think that at this point, for as long they've had Barrett on their roster, you'd think at this point they would want to push him to a main event type status at, down the line. This is just garbage. It was completely and utter garbage. Shouldn't even have been on the pay-per-view. It should have been on a Raw or SmackDown or something. And this did not help Neville either. It didn't help him either. He was having his debut on the main card of a pay-per-view, and they're fucking going ahead and making him win on a countout because Barrett's being a little bitch? Come on, man. I was so stupid on WWE's creative team. I didn't like that at all. It discredited both of their wrestlers that they had in this match, and it really hurt them both, and I think it hurt them both, but who knows with WWE? They don't seem to make any sense anyway these days anyhow. So it doesn't really matter to me. But my personal opinion, I thought that match absolutely sucked. And I was expecting better out of that. Then the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a fatal 4-way match. We had Seth Rollins retaining the championship against Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Randy Orton. Now, as I said, it wasn't a big surprise. I was kind of hoping for a change, a big surprise at this event for this world title match. But there was no surprises. Was the match decent? I'd say yeah. I think it was okay. Reason why I say okay is because it wasn't consistent. It was very inconsistent to my opinion. One moment the action was entertaining, fast-paced, things were going on, the people were interacting with this match, and then the next minute, people were not even caring for it. There was a few moments I did like in this match where they went ahead and had the Shield have a moment of reuniting against Randy Orton and making a joke out of it based off of what the news was on the internet, saying that there was a rumor going around that the Shield would reunite again to be together again and attack Randy Orton and have Seth Rollins walk out. And they kind of made a little comedy out of it after they put Randy Orton through the table. Seth Rollins acting like he's a big badass and he's got his buddies again, and they all look at him like, what? You gotta be crazy. Alright, well, let's kick his ass now. They kicked his ass. The thing that made the match suck was J&J Security and Kane. Kane, they made him looking like he was gonna go ahead, do something that was the right thing to do. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. They were, looking like they were going to have Kane turn to face, and instead they didn't. They made this big hype and build up for Kane to finally turn on the Authority, and instead they didn't do anything of that nature. They had Kane interfere consistently from the middle to the end of the match. I thought this was absolutely stupid. I thought it would have been better if you had just Seth Rollins doing it on his own. But in this match, he wasn't so much of a coward. I have to admit that. He didn't run away so much. He didn't act like a complete pussy. He did have his few moments here and there where he acted like a wuss. But at the end of the day, he won the match the right way. Now, the finishing maneuvers situation, they need to get his curb stomp back because he's using other people's finishing maneuvers, and it's really sad. It's like he's losing his own identity in a sense. Hopefully they bring the curb stomp back. From what I've heard on news on the internet, they will. They're just trying not to have him use that until these cases with the lawsuits for concussions is over with. So, and Seth Rollins actually hit a pedigree on Randy Orton. 2 months in a row, Randy Orton has been beaten by Seth Rollins. Last month was a little bit more of a screw job than anything else. This month, I don't know if it was so much of a screw job on Randy Orton. Because Randy Orton really went ahead and wasn't screwed out of anything too much by J&J and Kane. So I can't say that Kane and J&J Security did anything to hurt Randy Orton's potential chances of winning the match, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, and everyone's got one. Now, there was one moment in the match that was also funny. They kind of botched the power bomb that they performed on Seth Rollins and Kane. They were trying to powerbomb Kane through the table with Seth Rollins laying on the Spanish announce table, and unfortunately the table did not budge or break. Fans were cheering, "Do one more time, and I'm just like, they did botch that. You guys realize that, right? So, and from wrestling critics, a lot of people say you should never redo it over again. Once you perform the move and the table doesn't break, it's retarded to go forth and try it again. But I guess in this situation, fans didn't mind or give a crap whether or not the table broke. They would have just kept cheering for one more power bomb until the table broke and got that instant reaction of holy shit kind of attitude. But overall, the match, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. The show itself, you average it all up, I have to say it's like a 2.5 or 3. Decent show, not too bad. I'd give it more of a 3 out of 5 stars, so it wasn't too bad of a pay-per-view, but there was just some moments that, after the Rusev and John Cena's match, it just kind of went downhill for me. I mean, the world title match made up for it a little bit, but half of the second half of the show just really wasn't appealing to me at all. But that's pretty much that's pretty much everything I have to say about this pay-per-view. I hope you guys did enjoy this review on WWE Payback 2015. Hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments and opinions about this pay-per-view, what you guys thought of it. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. I will be uploading the Fantasy Wrestling Ideas episode number 3 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goodbye, guys, and have a great night.